We're gonna watch this video here about Trump planning on giving everyone like a $5,000 tax refund, and apparently Democrats are pissed off. This is by Matt Morris TV. He makes some pretty good videos. I recommend checking him out.
Ladies and gentlemen, right now, President Trump is finalizing the details of a plan to give every single American a $5,000 tax refund.
Yeah, it'd be fucking
And I'll
huge.
tell you what, this plan has the Democrats absolutely losing their minds. So you see, right now, this tax refund is being called the Doge dividend, and the way it works is actually revolutionary. Now, as I'm sure many of you know, right now the Department
It'd be good if they actually gave us all $5,000 to pay us back for all the bullshit they've done, because they've been cutting a bunch, and I'm sure it's going to be saving tons of money. They could probably do it, no problem.
of Government Efficiency is hacking and slashing all of the fraud and waste out of our federal budget. In fact, as things stand right now, the DOGE has been able to cut out over $55 billion.
I didn't know it was already up to $55 billion. But $55 billion to like $32 trillion or whatever our debt is now is really not anything. But let's keep watching.
Dollars worth of waste so far, with the ultimate goal of cutting out $2 trillion by 2026. And so now, here's what the Doge dividend proposal actually looks like. For every dollar cut by the Department of Government Efficiency, every American would get 20% of that back in the form of a tax refund.
Damn.
So what that means is that if you do the math on all of that, like I said earlier, we're talking about a $5,000 tax refund for every single tax-paying American. Now, the Doge dividend proposal document actually gives some extra insight and clarity into why President Trump is pursuing this at all. You see, 4 big reasons are given for the Doge tax refund. Benefit 1, it will serve to right the wrongs that were done to the American taxpayer. Benefit 2, it will share the benefits of cost cutting with the American taxpayer. Benefit 3, it will boost tax morale. And benefit 4, it will incentivize 2025 labor force participation. And then, to top all of that off, because this tax refund is driven by budget-cutting measures and not being financed, it won't even be inflationary. So folks, I don't know about you guys, but to me, this sounds like a pretty good idea. Now, that being said,
huge.
not
That's
everyone
way
is
better than a
happy about
stimulus
this,
check.
because as you can imagine, the folks over at CNN are actively doing everything they can to undermine all of this. But before we move on and take...
Yeah, imagine that. The people the money was originally going to are pissed off that we're going to get money back that was going into their bank accounts. That's how it works. They're pushing back and using CNN like normal.
Take a look at that. I want to say real quick, if you guys enjoyed the daily news coverage, please consider subscribing to the channel because it really does help a ton with my daily struggle against the YouTube algorithm. But okay, take a look at how Stephen Miller, Trump's political advisor, absolutely destroys CNN's entire narrative about all of this.
The American people are exhausted and tired of watching their tax dollars be corruptly spent, abused, wasted, and in every sense robbed and stolen from them. This president, for the first time in history, is committed to restoring accountability at every level of the federal government. You may assert there's no waste in the Pentagon. You may assert there's no waste in
Stephen,
Treasury.
I'm not
you may
asserting,
assert there's no waste in HHS.
That, Stephen, I don't think anyone...
Then why are you not celebrating these cuts if you agree there is waste?
Yeah, this is one thing I don't understand. Like, every side should be celebrating this because it's money stolen from the United States people to go towards other countries for bullshit. This is not like a single party issue unless somebody's getting paid. Like, I don't understand this at all. And I know there's like corruption on both sides, but it seems like the Democrats are pushing back more than anybody, and I don't get that.
You agree there is abuse, if you agree there is corruption, why are you not celebrating the cuts, the reforms that are being instituted? Every day that no action is taken, the entire salaries of American workers that are taxed disappear forever.
Stephen, let's calm down.
This is
we're not having a debate.
There's no reason
about whether there are places...
You are clearly trying to debate me, and I will be as excited as I want to be about the fact that we are saving Americans billions of dollars,
I like this guy.
that we are ending the theft and waste and grift and corruption, that we are stopping American taxpayer dollars from subsidizing a rogue federal bureaucracy that has been relentlessly weaponized against the American people.
Okay,
you may
Stephen,
not care about
I'm
this
not
issue.
Talking about
your colleagues may not care about
an
this issue,
area
but we care about this issue. The American people care about this issue.
They also care about privacy.
And the American
so
public overwhelmingly supports what President Trump is doing.
Folks, you know what I absolutely love about that video? It really highlights, it really displays that making America great again is no longer up for debate. We all voted to give President Trump a mandate to fix this country, and guess what? That is exactly what is happening. And so really, what's sad when you think about it is that despite the vast majority of this country actually supporting everything that President Trump is doing right now, still, the corrupt legacy media is trying to push their progressive agenda. In fact, you know what? Elon Musk made a great point about all of this just last night. Take a look.
When these attacks occur, the thing that
Legacy media is just ruining their credibility more and more as the days go by. Like, I think it's a lost cause. They're just gonna fucking drive themselves into the ground at this point.
they're accusing the administration of is what they are guilty of. They're saying that things are being done unconstitutional, but what they are doing is unconstitutional. They are guilty of the crime of which they accuse us.
That's always the first thing they do. He's in violation of the Constitution. They don't even know what they're talking. Well,
It's
they know.
absurd.
It's just a con job. It's a big con job. And they're so bad for the country, so dangerous and so bad. And the media is so bad. When I watch MSNBC, which I don't watch much, but you have to watch the enemy on occasion, the level of arrogance and cheating, and they're just horrible people.
Yeah, and everyone in America knows that they're textbook definition hypocrites too, and people are just sick of it. So no wonder their ratings are in the toilet. But hey, you know whose ratings aren't in the toilet right now? Take a look at this.
Donald Trump and the Republican Party has changed the electorate. What do I mean by that? Well, let's take a look at party identification, Democrats versus Republicans. You go back to 2017, 5 points more of the electorate was Democrats than Republicans. You go to 2021 when Joe Biden was starting out, look at that, 6 points more of the electorate was Democrats than Republicans. But look at what's happened in February of 2025. Look at this. Republicans, there are more Republicans in the electorate than there are Democrats. Republican +2. So Donald Trump and the Republicans have remade the electorate. They've turned some people over from being Democrats or independents to become Republicans. New folks have entered the electorate who are more Republican.
I think it's more that the Democratic Party is screwing themselves over because they just keep talking about the same points that nobody gives a shit about. Like, their points only affect a marginalized group of people and not the overall public. And I think that's a big reason they're failing right now. Just like watch the DNC, it was pathetic. It was all about identity and like fairness, and it was kind of pathetic, man.
Republican leaning. And so when you combine that with the fact that Republicans are really, really behind Donald Trump, all of a sudden you get a winning recipe whereby you break the normal rules of politics and give Donald Trump that positive net approval rating when he had pretty much a consistently negative one in term number one. As I said at the beginning, he's copying Frank Sinatra, doing it my way.
Wow. So what's the takeaway of all of that? It means that President Trump not only has rebuilt the Republican Party, but also he's rebuilding America. And hey, here's the reality. Democrats have yet to come to terms with this reality, but guess what? Americans are absolutely loving Trump's agenda.
And I think a big part of it is Trump is doing everything he said he's doing. He didn't stop like the Ukraine war, and that's a big talking point for them, I guess. But that's just fucking stupid. Of course, it wasn't going to end in 24 hours. Trump was just, I don't know what he was doing with that, to be honest. But everything else he's keeping up with, and he's making a lot of progress, and everyone's watching that.
Border security is popular. Mass deportations are popular. Focusing domestically here in America as opposed to globally elsewhere in the world is popular. Cutting out government waste is popular. And guess what? $5,000 tax refunds are also pretty popular. And so, hey, this is the reason why President Trump won every single swing state and was the first Republican to win the popular vote in 20 years and was able to shift all 50 states to the right in the 2024 election and now has the highest approval ratings of all time. Because people love what President Trump is doing and they're sick of all the manipulation coming from the left. In fact, take a look at what Chuck Schumer had to say about all of this just earlier this morning.
Is it the belief of the caucus that there is wasteful spending in government that needs to be cut? Do you agree with those in that sense?
Of course there's some wasteful spending, but you don't use a meat axe and cut everything. We need to look at each program. We need to go through Congress and see what's wasteful and move to eliminate it, and what's very not wasteful but very much needed.
So, folks,
I disagree. Cut the whole thing down and build it from the ground up again.
That is a perfect example of the manipulation and lies from the left that people are just sick of. Because he's pushing...
Yeah, it's not even true because he didn't cut everything. It's like the whole Medicaid and fucking SNAP benefits and all that they were lying about. That everyone's still getting their benefits. Everyone's just lying.
this blatantly false narrative that Trump is just going around indiscriminately cutting things from the federal budget and that Trump should instead work with Congress to get rid of all the waste. And it's like, hey, newsflash, Congress pretty much created all of the waste. Also, hey, how long has Chuck Schumer been in Congress? Over 40 years, that's right. How much waste has he cut? Zero. And so, hey, I really do hope that the Department of Government Efficiency is able to keep on rooting out all of the fraud and all of the waste from inside of the federal government, and that they can actually give some of that money back to the people. Because, hey, let's face it, that money is better off in your pocket than in the pocket of some corrupt Washington, D.C. swamp beast. And as we all now know, that is exactly what was happening. But folks, I think that's going to be a wrap for this one, so please go down below in the comments and let me know what you have to say about all of this. While you're down there, please like the video if you liked it. Like I said earlier, please consider subscribing to the channel if you like the daily news coverage. Thank you all very much for watching, and of course, as always, stay safe.
I think this is a great idea because everyone's kind of pissed off that all our money was going to other countries for useless things like transgender operations and plays and dumb shit like that. And I think this is a good way to like give back to the American people for scamming them for so long. But let me know what you guys think.